Where are we going? This trip's destination is Valle del Cauca, one of the 32 departments that form Colombia. Valle del Cauca is known for its ever-changing landscape, as it has not only luxurious and pristine beaches in the municipality of Buenaventura and others, but also plains that extend far beyond where the eyes can see, surrounding the municipalities of Anserma Cartago, and the Rio Cauca itself, and even counts with tall mountains that overlook the valley and the rivers that run through the middle of the department. Valle del Cauca is also home to a vast variety of foods, drinks, pastries, and more, but because of local cuisine and because of the role that Valle del Cauca serves as a hub of connections and commerce between other departments. Because of this role, cuisine from all over Colombia meets and is incorporated into Valle del Cauca's own cuisine, making it one diverse with foods that range from savory, sweet, mild, spicy, and more. Methods of transportation. Here in Valle del Cauca, you have various options to get around. For example, if we are moving from a city to another, we have the option to either pay for a special fee to have a taxi move us there, or we can use the public service of buses by paying a standard fee in one of these stations. But now, how do we get around inside the cities or the immediate surroundings? You might be asking, and the answer is fairly simple. Valle del Cauca and its cities do not lack means of transportation to get around inside the cities or to the surroundings. It has a public car service known as recorridos that cover the outskirts and other districts of the cities. It has taxi services, public bus services in various cities, a fleet of motorbikes that act as a public transit known as Motorraton. A more advanced version of this previous service known as Mototransit that uses a sort of three-wheel motorbike with a metallic covering in the passenger zone, similar if not identical to the vehicles known in other countries as tuk-tuks. But these are not the only services of public transport that exist in Valle del Cauca. Some cities have their own services, mostly major cities. For example, in Cali, the capital of Valle del Cauca, exists a major public transit hub known as MIO. This service provides both a service of buses with its own dedicated lanes on the city, but also a service known as Cable MIO, a service of cable car that covers a good part of the city. Foods and drinks of the zone. After a long day of visiting landmarks, museums, historic places, parks, and others, it's no surprise that hunger artists will hit. So, what can we eat and drink around here? Well, let me tell you that the food and drink of Valle del Cauca is by no means rare nor is scarce. As one major hub for transportation, commerce, and trade of goods, Valle del Cauca not only has recipes born in this land, but also has incorporated recipes from all parts of Colombia and beyond. One of the most common foods to be found in this zone are the empanadas, a sort of meat pie that is made with corn flour and filled with any kind of meat, potatoes, spices, and some sort of stir-fried veggies. This recipe is usually accompanied with either black or milk coffee. Other recipe that is quite common in Colombia and more in cafes and such, where you only stop to grab a quick bite and move on, is the pan de bono, a small ball-shaped bread made mainly with cassava starch, a salty and slightly more light cheese known as queso costeño, cornstarch, and cornstarch. It has a quite mild yet savory taste, with a cheesy and salty taste, but without it being overwhelming. Perfect to ease the hunger when you're trying eating something sweet. But what if you want something more filling and that can be called a proper meal? Well, you have quite the variety of options too. One of the most representative and common foods to order in Valle del Cauca is the sancocho, a stew made out of plantain, cassava, potatoes, spices, and almost any kind of meat. Most common is the sancocho de gallina, made with hen meat, and the sancocho de espinazo, made with the pig spine, but any non-fish meat can be used in the making of this plate. Maybe a stew is not what you're searching for to appease your hunger. Maybe you wish for something drier and that doesn't need to be piping hot to be enjoyed. Well, that is covered in her in Bail de Cauca too, with our arroz atollado. This recipe's main ingredient is rice, but it is what catches the eye on this plate. What really stands out is the mix of meats that compose it, as this plate has four types of meat, this being pork, beef, chicken, and sausage, alongside tomatoes, onions, potatoes, and chicken bouillon, making it a quite savory and tasteful plate. And what do we do with our thirst? Simple, Bajal Cauca doesn't lack drinks neither. One of the most representative drinks from the zone is the champús, a drink mostly seen on the capital of the department. Champús is a refreshing yet complex tasting beverage made out of pineapple, lulum, cinnamon, panela, a subproduct of the sugar making, corn flour, orange tree leaves, and more, making it a drink with a foreign yet delicious taste that gets even better cold. Other option if the shampoo doesn't float your boat is the cholao, a cool drink made with ice, maraschino cherries, diced fruit pulp, sweet condensed milk, and others, making a sugary yet refreshing treat with a good balance of flavor between the fruits and the dairy. Perfect for the hot days that cities like Cali, Cartago, Buenaventura, and others experiment. What to do? Now it's time to discuss what to do. Valle del Cauca comes with many things to do and visit, from partaking into games such as Tejo, soccer, skating, and others, to visiting important or historical points. So why don't we hop into a bus and head out to our field's location to visit? Our field's destination is the Basilica Menor Señor de los Milagros in Buga, a minor basilica that honors an image of Jesus Christ known as the Señor de los Milagros, Lord of Miracles. Even if the basilica is just a minor one, it brings people from all over the country because of the numerous saint abilities of the image of Jesus Christ that this basilica honors. But it is not a touristic spot merely for people of faith. The basilica is beautiful as they come, with its pink bricks and white highlights. Its twin bell towers, the construction, and sheer magnitude of the basilica makes it a beautiful location to visit if you're someone who appreciates such architecture, as it is as beautiful as some other major basilicas and cathedrals in mainstream or important cities in both inside and outside of Colombia. After another quick detour, we found ourselves in Cerrito, where we encountered the Hacienda El Paraíso, one of the major historical points in all of Colombia's literary history. Why? I hear you ask. Well, because this estate was owned by Jorge Isaacs, one of the major and probably the most known author of Colombia. This estate is known for its rustic yet well-preserved house, its beautiful flower gardens, the museum that now resides inside the old building, yet more importantly, it is known for being the state that inspired the state of the same name in Jorge Isaacs' most known story, Maria, a work that made Jorge Isaacs the icon he is today, and a work that became so famous that it even had an adaptation in series format made by one of the main public television channels of the country. We had to take a longer bus ride this time, but now we are here, Cali, the capital of Valle del Cauca, and what we are going to visit, you may be asking. Well, the reality is that there are so many things that we can visit, from parks to museums to religious to rebellions points of interest. But today we will be visiting one of the most interesting museums that Valle del Cauca has to offer, and that is the Museo del Oro Calima del Banco de la República. A bit of a mouthful, I know, but what is inside is what matters. Inside of it is preserved various golden trinkets and artifacts from the civilizations that have lived on the land of Colombia. Among the various trinkets can be found masks, collars, vases, plates, pieces of clothing made out of gold, and more. All these pieces being beautifully crafted and showing a few glances to the history of Colombia.